This is the Husli. It's a tiny 18th century garden house that is part of our manor house property in Switzerland. And this little house has been serving up some seriously big problems, including the most tragic renovation mistake of our entire project. Ever since my other video touring the Husli took off, I've been a little stuck and honestly a little hesitant to share updates about it, partially because we've run into a bunch of roadblocks and issues. And the truth is, this little house was one of my favorite things about our entire property. It's adorable. Many of you agreed that it's cozy and quaint and a really special building, but it actually hasn't felt like that for a while. I'm starting to get my hope back, and so today I'm going to share with you where things are at with the Husli, some of the roller coaster that we've been on and the challenges we've been facing, and some of the light that I can finally see at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, that's super old. Huh. Oh, that doesn't seem quite right.
Let's just lay it back down.
There are a lot of really wonderful things about this house, and there were definitely some cosmetic changes that were needed, like pulling up 50-year-old carpets.
Okay, so we should probably stop because this is using an adhesive,
Okay.
and carpet adhesives in the 60s and 70s had asbestos.
Oh, that's no good.
Unfortunately, it needed more than that. It was non-functional for a few reasons, starting with the infrastructure. And if we've learned anything with the main house, infrastructure is huge. There was no running water to the Husli at all. And while there were some sinks and even a little shower space, there was no running water. We really don't know when the last time there was water running to this building. So plumbing is one of the first big projects that is necessary. Also the electrical. Like the main house, it's on a very old electrical system and panel, probably 65 years old-ish. And at best, it was weak and unreliable, and at worst, quite honestly, a little dangerous. So the electrical is also gonna have to be completely redone. Now, the design of the house. There were a lot of opinions about how or whether to design or change things in this little house. And the one I really wanna focus on is the stairs. Regardless of what you think of these old, narrow stairs, they simply can't stay. We aren't able to have friends and family be able to get down easily to the basement to enjoy a nice cozy fondue dinner. And if we want to rent this out, it needs to meet certain safety standards, and so the stairs have to go. They just do.
Oh, sorry.
It is surprisingly challenging to figure out how to redesign stairs that work in this building for a couple of reasons. Now, there were some really good ideas that were posted, and we of course had thought of many of them and tried things like spiral staircase, folding staircase, rolling staircases, different placement of staircases. I can't tell you the number of iterations and sketches and brainstorming sessions that we've had to try to figure this out. And this is one of the areas where I was really stuck. Part of the issue is going upstairs to the attic. Going down to the basement actually turns out to be not that difficult to do. But going up is tricky because of the slant of the roof. The roof is really steep and it's high in the middle, but it is really quite low on the sides of the attic, and so you can't come up the stairs on the sides. You have to come up in the middle. Additionally, on the walls where the roof is the highest is where the windows are, both on the main floor and up in the attic as well. And so you don't want to put the stairs directly in front of a window. And so that leaves you really in the middle of the house. We had circled around to a design that just never really clicked for me, but we finally think that we've figured something out that's going to work. And so there's a little light at the end of the tunnel there. It keeps the coziness of the living room and the main floor and gives you access to what I think can be a really cool lofted attic space above. There was also a moment that broke my heart with the Husli. The first thing the team came in to do was to just pull up old carpets and, get rid of any old stuff that needed to go. But there was some massive miscommunication that led to a huge renovation mistake. The basement of the Husli was and is one of the coolest historic rooms of our entire property. And on the floor were some old terracotta tiles. The team tore up those terracotta tiles. Oh my gosh, there were some tears shed that day. I was sad, I was angry, I didn't know what to do. And quite honestly, I think I've been grieving that for a while now. Of course, there's no going backwards. We can't get them back. And if it's any consolation, we did determine that those tiles are not original. In fact, they're probably not as old as you might think that they were. We actually have some terracotta tiles stashed in the basement that we think are from the 70s renovation. And of course, the team will repair it. They will remediate the mistake and lay a floor that is as comparable as possible. But that was a really tough one to get over. One thing that happened when the terracotta tiles were pulled up is we noticed some water damage. I popped over one rainy day and was in the basement trying to figure out what to do next. I noticed some water accumulating in the corner by the sink. I wasn't sure exactly how it was getting in. We hadn't noticed it with the pipes. There's no water running in the pipes anyway, but because of the rain, it's likely coming in from the outside.
I'm gonna try to capture the sound. I don't know if you can hear it. There's definitely water moving through this area, and there's some leakage on the floor, so I think we need to look into that. Yeah, that pipe doesn't go anywhere.
No, it doesn't, but yeah, that could be it.
Oh. I think maybe there's a leak going in that way.
Possibly. Rain coming down here.
Yeah,
If
and
it
if
goes
it
in there.
slides in and gets stuck.
Yeah.
I'm noticing this part of the wall, by the way, looks different, and I'm wondering if it was redone at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
too.
the walls clearly had work all the time. You know?
Yeah. Now, the other thing that's right in this area is the fireplace downstairs. It is still a fantastic feature of that room, the downstairs space, the entire house, the entire property, quite honestly. But it was gross. It was black and caked on with soot from looked like years of fires and no maintenance. We even found a mushroom growing in it. And I was honestly concerned that the entire fireplace stack and chimney was going to have to get completely redone.
Yeah. Ich putze beide Kamine.
Okay.
Dann
Ja, ja.
putze ich alles sauber.
Yep.
Und dann müssen Sie schauen mit einem Ofenbauer.
We brought in the chimney sweep who cleaned everything out, and it's looking much better. So when the mason came to take a look at the chimney itself and the structure, he said it's actually holding up just fine. So that means we can have fires in the Husli and really feel and get a sense for what it's going to be like when we can actually use this space full on. So of course, we had to give that a shot.
So interestingly, one clue, those terracotta tiles weren't as old as we might have thought. Is underneath them, we found hearth tiles that are just kind of in a rectangular pattern here outside of the fireplace.
Ooh, it's warm in here.
That fire looks humongous.
If you haven't seen it already, I invite you to check out the other video of the Husli where you can get a full tour of the whole space, and also check out my channel to find out more about our historic manor house property here in Switzerland. Thanks for watching our manor house project.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, are you going this way? I'm going.